Hi, I am Ms. Litch, and on behalf of Trio Upward Bound Tutorials, today we're going to talk about graphs and constructed response questions that you will see on a science assessment. The first thing that I want you to remember is that reading and reasoning is key. Students are often discouraged when they see science graphics or constructed response questions on science assessments. But with the tips that I'm going to tell you in this two-part video, hopefully you will be able to conquer these challenges and that you will be very, very successful. The first example we're going to talk about are science graphs. So graphs, tables, charts, and illustrations on science assessments are very common, okay? But I don't want you to feel flustered or overwhelmed. I'm going to give you two very good tips to help you look at this question with a new set of eyes. First, you're going to read and annotate the question. You're going to look at the question as it's presented to you, and you're going to look for key science terms or any words that stand out. These words will be bold printed or in italics, or sometimes these words might even be underlined. You're also going to look for action words such as claim, justify, explain, support, or defend. So let's look at this question. This question says, this diagram shows a cladogram of 6 species based on amino acid similarities. Which 2 species are the most closely related? So automatically, using the tip that I gave you, we're going to first look at the words that jump out from the question. Those will be the words that's in bold here. Most closely. Now we're going to look for any science terms that we may have heard or learned in our science course. Cladogram, that is definitely a science term. Amino acids, amino acid and similarities, but amino acids. Species, that's another really good science term. And I think we're good. So now let's look directly at the diagram, and we see another science term, common ancestor. That's going to be important also. So now we know that we're looking at a cladogram. That's going to tell us what type of diagram this is. We're looking at different types of species. We're looking for amino acid similarities, and we're looking for the species that are most closely related in this diagram. So even if we don't really understand the words that we have circled or the words that we've identified in the question, we can just use our reading skills to answer this question correctly. So basically, it's asking us which species are most closely related in this diagram. So let's look at the placement of each species as they're presented to us in our multiple choice. So 1 and 2. So here's species 1, here's species 2. Even though they're on the same side, we see that they are a little further apart than the other species that's on this side of the chart or on this side of the chart. So for right now, I think we can eliminate this possibility. Then we have 2 and 4. So this is species 2, this is species 4. And as we see from our chart, they are on the same side of the diagram. However, there's another species that's closer to 4. Now, C gives us the option of 1 and 5. So that's species 1, that's species 5. They are on opposite sides of the diagram, so we're going to eliminate that possibility also. That leaves us with 5 and 6. 5 and 6. They seem to be the most closely related out of all the choices that were given to us. So we're going to choose that as our best answer. Again, we used our techniques. We read, we annotated, we drew connections, and then we did a process of elimination. And we were able to come up with the correct answer. Please continue on for part 2.